toast to their career.
The perfect combination, boy.
Him hard, legends in the South.
This is sports fans' only home for the hottest sports show around. These guys are on fire.
You're now listening to KJ and Sean Mack. Let's talk some damn sports.
Thanks for tuning in, sports fans only. C. Anthony back with another video. On deck, Canelo Alvarez. He definitely had an impressive TKO victory over the weekend versus Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe was a very game opponent. He came to fight, but he suffered an eye injury and a TKO loss. Shouts out to Billy Joe. I hope he has a speedy recovery and comes back soon. I will say I did scoring that fight. I did have Billy Joe ahead on the scorecards against Canelo. He was definitely making Canelo think a little bit before Canelo ramped up later in around the 7th or the 8th round. I'm sure he'll be back to do his thing soon, but starting to feel like Canelo may retire with only one loss on his resume. That coming to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I'll just go over some things to make you to let you see why I kind of feel that way. So It's on to the next right now. You got Plant coming up this September. Seems like that's the fight that may be presenting itself to Canelo. I don't think Plant has had the ring experience, the fighters. I think he's fought a lot of C-level competition. He hasn't been under the lights and the pressure, the big net against Canelo. It's not you're going to have to be ready to take Canelo to war. Not sure if Benavidez can do that. He is a very sound fighter. I'll leave it at that. And looking on, even if he was to take on David Benavidez, I don't think Benavidez has the answer for Canelo. Benavidez will probably walk into a lot of shots with Canelo, and at some point he's going to have to, go toe-to-toe with Canelo and try to back Canelo up. And I'm not sure if he will be able to stand the pressure of being under the big lights and fighting probably the biggest superstar in the sport. So I would definitely take Canelo over Benavidez and Plant. Andrade, Demetrius hasn't looked well. He didn't look good in his last fight. That version of Demetrius Andrade would not beat Canelo by any means necessary. He definitely had to step up his game. These guys probably should start fighting each other a little bit and getting a little bit better competition rather than just trying to eye down Canelo for the big payday. But I would also be trying to chase Canelo for the big payday, so I understand where they're going with it. I will say there is competition for Canelo. The only person I've seen that could, not the only, but the one I think who stands the best chance against Canelo is Charlo. I'm speaking about Big Charlo. In my opinion, that might be a war with him and Canelo. Charlo has the power, the speed, the endurance. I believe he has a 3-inch reach advantage on Canelo. I don't think he would fold up under the pressure. That would be a fight where Charlo would bring the best out of Canelo. Canelo would definitely bring the best out in Charlo, and that would be fireworks, and that would probably be a very, very entertaining pay-per-view fight. So hopefully we can get that fight maybe at the beginning of next year sometimes. I think Canelo said he's going to fight also in December, so maybe he will step up to Charlo then. But Canelo right now, I'm feeling like he's seen it all. He's fought the top competition. These guys haven't. Just to go through a few names, he's had Floyd, he's had Triple G twice, he's had Cotto, he's had Kovalev, he has Austin Trout. All those guys on the resume, different stars in their own right, and Canelo has found a way to dig and to be able to come up victorious against those fighters. So I don't really see the people, a lot of these fighters right now, they're fighting once a year. You can't really stay sharp like that. It's an extreme high, then extreme low. Canelo's kind of like flatline. He's staying busy. I will say anybody could have a bad night, so Canelo can get caught slipping. But with him and Eddie Reynoso being in sync the way they are, and they're doing their homework on all the competition, so they know what it takes for each individual. I don't think Canelo would get tired and say like maybe have 3 or 4 fights in a year and get caught slipping that way, because the preparation is there. Sort of like Floyd, he doesn't just go into these camps. He's pretty much training all year long. So he's ready and sharp, staying focused. But like I said, the Charlo fight would definitely be a good fight. Charlo may have a little bit more stamina than Canelo, and that would be a true test for Canelo. Also, another reason Canelo has, I would think, all the fighters I named. Eddie Reynoso does all those guys. He's the master manipulator with the game plans. At some point, him and Canelo will become in sync, and they will find you and probably get you with a TKO. So, also the high ring IQ and the patience. Canelo, he might be down on the scorecard here and there, but the focus, he's coming. He's building on layers, getting the jabs off, getting the hooks off, countering, and then at some point, the uppercuts and the overhand rights are coming. So, that's really why I'm starting to feel this way. He's a throwback fighter. He's back in the 90s, like the hunger of those guys. It's not like one fight, relax. So the constant development of Canelo and his skills and becoming more in sync with Eddie Reynoso, I'm finding it hard to believe that somebody's going to actually step up and beat Canelo. These fighters aren't active enough. So I'm going to keep this real short. I will say against the Billy Joe Saunders was a very good fight. Billy Joe did well. A lot of people thought that Billy Joe really had a chance. I think in the last video I said that it would be a TKO victory, or maybe they would throw in the white towel. The white towel didn't come in, but he definitely did not leave the stool. So shouts out to Billy Joe. And 2 years ago, that would have been a great fight, but I would say Canelo's level is on another level. He's an A-level fighter. I don't see much competition for him. I can't wait to see him in the Charlo fight. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet right there. Canelo, salute. TKO victory. Mexico stand up. On to Plant, which I think will be I think it's going to go similar to the way that this fight went. Caleb Plant will be in the fight for a couple rounds. But you know what? I'll be right back with more Canelo news. I'll leave it right there. Stay tuned to Sports Fans Only. C-Mac and Sean Mac on production. Peace. Be well.